Hello and welcome to Martin Lucas Investors channel. My name is SENSEI Crypto and I'm going to be doing the Sunday show where we look at charts, your requests, crypto, and anything you guys want to talk about. But we're going to start off by talking about ASTI. If you're watching this later on, there will be timestamps below, a couple hours after it's gone live, where you can skip to your favorite charts. Please do remember to leave a like if you're watching live or later on, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. Amazing. Thank you all for tuning in. I see a lot of familiar people within the stream, so thank you for tuning in. We're going to start off by looking at ASTI Chart. So I've got that ready for you guys. There was a chart set up, and obviously after the interview the stock price did drop, so we'll be looking at that and the next potential trade setup. But first let's have a look at your comments and let's see who is live in the show. So we have Martyn was here, so hello to you, Martyn. Thank you for the interview and everything you did this week. We've got John here as well. Hello, John Grantforts. Steve Wally. Hey, Martyn, John, and SENSEI. Hello to you, Steve. Manic, welcome to Silver. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. Jay Long says, hi, everyone. John Grantfort is replying to Jay. Hi, Jay. Hi, SENSEI. Hi, everyone. Hello, Stephen. Welcome in. Let me know if you want me to have a look at is it MTDR? Are you still invested? We've got Florian here. Hello, Florian. I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the show. Have you tuned in before? Are you new here? Do consider becoming a member. There is the membership link here. You will be recognized and all your comments will be read, and I'll even do you a chart of your own if you become a SENSEI. If you become a member during the show. No one can become a SENSEI. That is just for me. Queen of Self-Grading. Hello to you, Queen. Stephen is saying hi, Queen. We've got Mike here. Hello, Mike. Thank you for tuning in on a Sunday evening or afternoon, depending on where you are. Jay Long, welcome in, Jay Long. Mike, and yes, MTDR. Yes, we'll have a look at MTDR for you, Stephen. I know you have a lot invested. New to the chat, Florian. Welcome. Let me know what you invested. Are you investing in crypto, stocks? What brings you into the show? How did you find us, Florian? I'll be very interested to know how you came across our channel. I'm here. My name is SENSEI. I do the Sunday show, so thank you for tuning in. I do the charts. The main host of this show is Martin Lucas. You've probably seen him. Honorary SENSEI. John, what do you mean? What did I say? Carlos, do you cover Lucid? If you become a member, the membership link is right above. If you become a member, I'll have a look at Lucid and do a full analysis for you. Okay, but we're going to start off by looking at ASTI and doing a video for ASTI Solar Technologies. So let me quickly see if we have any information on it on AlphaSpread. Here we go. Not too much information, but we can still have a look at the charts. Hey Team Fusion, I'm now trading MTDR, says the Queen of Saint. I saw Martin do a short video and like the content. Oh, amazing! Yes, so Martin is here every single day, every market trading day. If you're ever available during the opening bell or closing bell within those time frames, Martin is live. So welcome in. You will see Martin live tomorrow. Okay, let's get to it. Team Fusion is here as well. I'm going to do a quick video on ASTI to begin the show. So let me quickly get up the time. Okay, so let's start off with doing a trading guide on ASTI. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at ASTI, Ascent Solar Technologies. I'm going to be doing a full chart analysis, my buy zones, my sell zones, how I'm treating the stock, how I'm trading the stock. I'm showing you a potential trade setup for ASTI Solar Technologies. So let's get straight into it. This is the chart for ASTI. We had a lot of volatility during the interview, which I'll link at the end of the video. It's a must watch. It's an absolutely amazing interview conducted by the main host, Martyn Lucas. So yes, let's have a look at the stock price. Before, we did have a trade set up where it was the all-time lows of ASTI at around 9 cents. We had seen previous support at those all-time lows, and we had significant price action to the upside to 19 cents and even all the way up to 34 cents. So my next trade setup was this area about 9 cents again. To see if we can form a double bottom and get a reaction at those previous lows, which you can see we actually did. This trade provided a 57% move to the upside. Of course, this was a trade we did last week, and that is now past. So what we're looking to do in the future, you can see with this trade, we didn't hit the ultimate target, which was 19 cents, but we did hit our first target, which was this upwards trend line, which was previously support. Of course, now it's tested as resistance, and it's looking more likely that we're coming back down to this 9 cents. So we can give 9 cents another go. The only issue is if we hit 9 cents a few times, we might break below. So that is one thing to take in consideration. That's why I have a tight stop loss. There will be limit orders set up at around 9 cents. So this trade can have another try to go to the upside, targeting firstly 14 cents, and then again you can have a second target set up on ASTI, which can take us to about 19 cents. What we're looking for this time round is not only to test the trend line, is to get above it, and once we get above it, we're looking for a test of to get back above it. What I expect to happen if we do get a reaction at 9 cents is something like this. We have the trade at 9 cents. We expect a reaction back to this trend line just like before, and maybe it provides resistance again, but it will have another try, and once it gets back above the trend line, it might go straight to 19 cents, or it might come back down, turn this trend line, this upwards trending trend line, into support, come back and test this area once it gets back up, and then hit 19 cents. And what we want to see at 19 cents is the exact same thing happen. Go above 19 cents, test it, turn the resistance into support, and then that's when we can start targeting next levels, 27 cents. Same thing, 27 cents breaks, come back down, test 27 cents, is currently resistance, turn it into support, go to 31 cents. Once we hit 31 cents, the exact same thing we're expecting to happen again, where it comes up, tests 31 cents as support, and then we go up to our next targets, which might be these moving averages coming down at around 27 cents. So that's what we want to see. We want to start seeing an upwards trend on ASTI. I do highly recommend watching that video of the interview, so you can learn more about the fundamentals of ASTI and what it does as a company. That will be linked in the description, comments, and at the end of the video. But yes, I want to start seeing these lows turn into higher lows, turn into higher lows. We can have another double bottom situation at 9 cents, and then we start building ourselves up and we start heading to the upside. That is what I want to start seeing, and that's what, once we start seeing, it shows that more buyer market participants are in, more people are holding the stock, and that could be a healthy sign for the stock. Please do leave a like on the video if you're still watching with me, and leave me a comment. Are you invested in ASTI? Are you looking at a potential investment? And what brings you to the channel? So please do smash the like, it does really help, and do subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be answering all your comments down below. So those are my trades. In worst case scenario, let's look at the flip side. What can happen? We can start seeing maybe we can draw some Fibonacci's to the downside as well, where potentially this 9 cents level doesn't hold. This area just below 9 cents doesn't hold. What happens? Our stop losses will be hit. We take minimal losses, and then we start looking at next entry points. My buy zones, remember, I don't buy all at one level. I'm not going to put all my buy levels at 9 cents. I do have a backup just in case it does head lower, which would be around the levels of about 6 to 5 cents. So this is the area I'm looking at as a potential next buy zone. I don't expect it to go down that low. I have looked at the fundamentals of ASTI, but right now I'm looking at the chart, and it does suggest if we break the 9 cents level, there might be lower to go before ASTI rises to the upside. Overall, I think this is a great area to be buying it around that 9 cents, 10 cents level for a long-term hold. If you look at the RSI on the weekly, for example, you can start seeing that we are oversold. You start looking, let me see. It seems like both my charts, so excuse me, but we are oversold on the RSI. We can bring that up for you and show you again. Let me type in RSI and get that up. You are looking at very oversold territory on the weekly chart for the for ASTI, so that shows that a lot of people have sold out, and it's driven the price to a point where it looks attractive to be buying in. So that is one thing I am looking at. But overall, the stock has been in a downtrend for a while, and I think this might be an area where it could potentially bottom out. Again, I'm not giving financial advice, it's just what I'm doing with my money. And that was just a quick update for you guys on the ASTI from the chart perspective. So if you did enjoy the video, there will be the interview just above here. You can see it over here. Please do click on that and watch that, and then there'll be a playlist or another video that you might find interest in below that. So until next time, please do take care of yourselves and each other. 11, 13, So that was a quick update on ASTI. Let's go back to your comments and see what we should look at next. I am going to put MTDR for Stephen over here. MT. And let's see what comments came through during that video. Martyn has already reviewed it and the stock has no value based on its figures. What are you talking about? Team Fusion. What stock is that? Hi SENSEI, can you chart Bitcoin? Yes, we'll have a look at Bitcoin later on in the video, Liam. Do remind me if I forget. Good evening all, says Henrik. Hi Henrik. Hi SENSEI, would you mind looking at Greenwave Technology Solutions, ticker GWAV? I see potential and holding out on the stock long term. Team Fusion, I don't know if we'll have enough time. If you want to do a super chat, and that goes for anyone, if anyone's kind enough to do a super chat, which I don't think we'll get during this video, but if you do, then I'll look at that stock straight away. The reason I'm looking at Bitcoin is because that is what I look at all the time, and MTDR is because Stephen has come on the show and created a video with us, and he's got a lot invested, so we want to have a look at MTDR for Stephen as well. But sorry, Team Fusion, no, I can't take too many free requests during this live. I have a lot to cover. I hope you understand. Vaz is late again. Were you watching the football, Vaz? What are you up to? Hi, Stephen. Are you still holding MTDR? Says SENSEI, I was replying to someone who asked about FFIE. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is true. Thank you, Team Fusion. Yes, 3,036 shares of MTDR. Did I miss ASTI? You just missed ASTI. If you rewind, you will look at it. You can have another look at it, but it will also come out as a video. So don't worry, you will find my ASTI analysis. So here's MTDR. I think we're at about the levels that Stephen bought in, around that 57, 58 level. We did have this upwards trend line. We have broken it slightly. What we want to see this week is coming back above the trend line and keep putting in higher lows. I mean, we are still safe. You just don't want to start breaking lows before, meaning below $52 is an area where we might start seeing pressure still to the downside, and we don't want to see it go back down to $42. So right now, the trend is still to the upside. Even though we're breaking the trend line, we still have a major support level around $52, where you can see previous support, and as well that will be important because that will show that more market participants are holding it. We're not making lower lows. And we are still in a trend to the upside. I have seen us break trend lines before and the week after regaining it, and that gives us a lot of potential buyers coming in. Again, the next sort of resistance level, a potential sell level, again, not financial advice, is about 66 to 67 US dollars. And then we can start seeing, it looks a little bit like some commodities I've seen before, like gold, where you have a lot of touches at these levels before. $67 before, $67 again with a contested, and the all-time high is about 73. Then $67 again, $67 again. You've got above $67 and sold off again. So that could be an area where there will be resistance again. However, because we've knocked on that door so many times, you might see potentially in the future where you break above $67 and actually turn that $67 level, which we haven't done yet, that $67 level into support and start breaking all-time highs and get back above $73. That's what we want to see. But the first sell level will be $67, the next buy level will be $53, but we are still in an uptrend on this stock. Martyn has just put in the chat the membership link. Please do consider becoming a member. Anyone who's not a member who becomes a member during the show, will do a special thing for you and will review a stock for you free of charge. If time permits, can you give rough levels total 1, total 2, total 3? Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, because we're going to cover it later on anyway. So okay. So Bitcoin. Oh, let's get rid of that tool. What we're looking at right now is another try to get back above that $70,000. It acted as resistance again. We're back at the bull market support band, so this should provide some support. If it doesn't, the next buy level, let me show you the chart, sorry, $70,000 was the resistance I was just saying. We're back at this support level, moving averages. It's basically the Bitcoin bull market support band. The longer when we stay above it, Bitcoin's sort of in a bull market in my understandings. There's one key indicator I look at, so we want to stay above these moving averages. If we break it for a short amount of time, $57 is back on the cards. And worst case, which I don't see happening, is about $50,000. What we want to start seeing is this moving average right here turn into support this week and start breaking $70,000. What we can actually have another Fibonacci retracement now. My idea is about $85,000 this year for Bitcoin. I think that's the target for this year for me, for Bitcoin, and then we can start breaking sort of 100,000 in 2025. If we look at total crypto market cap, let's have a quick look at it. I actually haven't had a look at this in a while. Same sort of idea. The resistance was at 2.578 trillion dollars. We're back at the moving averages here. We're hoping to see a support, and then we can might worst case come down to about 1.75 trillion. But as you can see, this bull market support band has held before, and I'm expecting it to hold again. Total 2. So this is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. We're at that area of support with the moving averages at about $1 trillion currently. So we'd like to see that hold. If we start breaking that, then downside can be imminent, and that is all going to be decided this week. Are we going to hold it, move a bit higher, or are we actually going to start breaking these levels? Total 3. Excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, total market cap is actually, you can see the altcoins are getting a bit wrecked right now, below the moving average this time around on this chart. So where would we be heading next? It's not looking brilliant actually for the altcoins right now. We might, interesting to say, let's do a Fibonacci retracement and see if we can find some levels. Yeah, it might be the 50% retrace we're going for. So I'd like us to see us holding this 542 billion, but that's not looking good for the altcoins. And do we have a total? I don't think we have a total for it. So we can look at Bitcoin, Ethereum as well. That should be going to downside. Yeah, we've broken the support band, and it looks like Bitcoin's holding stronger than your other altcoins, which I've been saying. Keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance still has higher to go. It's knocking on the door of about 55.5%, where I expect it to go about a bit higher, either up to 60% or even maybe up to 71%, which in all honesty I don't really see happening. I think more likely is about 66% Bitcoin dominance. So again, Bitcoin right now is king, and that's going to take us up. It's going to, when it goes to 85,000, if we go back to the Bitcoin chart, when Bitcoin goes up to 85,000, which I expect it will this year, that's the area. Let me go to the other chart. That 85,000 level is where I expect Bitcoin to rally up to. Altcoins won't really react too much. They would just go up the same percentage terms as Bitcoin. And once we reach 85,000, Bitcoin might have a pullback, or altcoins might go on a mini alt rally. And that's where the total 2, total 3, total 2 and total 3 will start coming back up. Bitcoin dominance might start pulling back down. So it seems like Bitcoin is still the safest investment in crypto. For the time being, the higher Bitcoin goes, the more money that can flow into the altcoins. But right now it looks like Bitcoin is king. Let's have a look at your comments. Good evening, Sensei and Lucas. James, a little bit late, aren't you? I'm kidding. Thank you for tuning in. I nearly missed the live show. I did not. So let me get this screen running again. Yes, we are running. Good evening, Sensei. I nearly missed the live show. I did not realize it's 9 p.m. already. Yeah, it's lighter out in the UK, so I can understand why. It doesn't feel that late. I'm still holding FSRN, says the Queen of Self-Braiding. Oh, sorry about that, Queen. Yes, James, it's late, almost time for sleep, says William. Welcome in, William. You were a member before, no, William? You can always renew your membership. There's a link just above. Hit the like button, says James. Yes, hit the like button. There's 32 people watching, 21 likes. Please do hit the like button. Every single Sunday we have more likes than people watching, and we can't let this be any different. So please do hit that like button, and we'll give you some fireworks for that. When do you think FSRN will be halted? I'm not sure, Google Ads. Sorry about that. I don't have an answer for you. It should be in the coming months. Possibly a big liquidation in crypto happening right now. Price wick down for a second and selling off. Oh, currently, is that what we're looking at? Let's go to that. I haven't looked at it on the smaller time frame. We are selling off, but not too dramatically at the moment. Good evening, Sensei. Vaz, yes, thank you, James. Hi, James. Thanks, Sensei. I was expecting summer to be the start of alt season like 2021, but we might have to wait. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit slow. We still need Bitcoin to rally. I think there will be a little alt rally, alt season, 85k. Bitcoin pulls back. Again, at 100k, we hit 100k, maybe go a bit above it. Bitcoin pulls back, money goes into altcoins. And then the last one will be when hopefully Bitcoin gets closer to 200,000. And then that's when the real alt season will happen. I'm expecting 2025, which is when the main alt season was in 2021, 4 years ago. From 2025 would be 2021, and that's when the main alt season was. Hey Liam, okay, let's move on to our next stock of the day. I want to do a video on SPCE as well. I can do a full chart analysis because all of my charts have been mean nothing anymore because of the stock split. So let's go on to the weekly chart. You see all my trades were below the $5 level, and because we've had the reverse stock split, they do not matter anymore. So what we can do is, I think we can, there's a way to remove all, yeah, okay, we can do that during the video. I'm hearing we need another 700 to 800 million in liquidations. Yeah, I mean, you hear all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, it's just if the buyers come in or not. It doesn't matter too much. There's not a specific number of liquidations you need before a next leg up. There was a lot of longs last season around 20,000, and that went all the way up to sort of 50, 60,000, 60. It actually went up all the way to like 65,000, and then we had that massive fallback to 30,000, and that's when the liquidations occurred. But we haven't seen anything, so it can go higher with a lot of long positions and leverage still in the market. So I wouldn't hold too much weight to that. That's just my opinion anyway. Let's do a video on SPCE. Let's see if Alpha Spread has updated their pricings on SPCE. Yes, we have some updated. Let's see if Wall Street have updated their targets. So I'm just looking at a few screens to see. No, we still have the all old. Yeah, okay. We'll just go off our own. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at SPCE Virgin Galactic Holdings. We're going to do a full updated chart analysis for you. We're going to start a chart fresh, work together to build up our new chart. We've had that reverse stock split, and we want to see where the charts are telling us next, where the stock is going, potential buy and sell zones, and a fresh new chart for SPCE. So let's get straight into it. As you can see, all my previous charts, which I think we've traded SPCE really well over the past year, trading in and out of it, not trying to hold it for the long term, trying to trade it and try to add to our long-term positions if that's something that people wanted to do. Again, I'm not giving financial advice, just my opinion. And as you can see by the price of SPC going down, it was the much better option to do, to buy and sell rather than to just be holding the stock. What I'm going to do now is press this button here, remove drawings. That is all our previous work deleted because of the stock splits, and is no longer viable. So we're looking at a fresh new chart here. First thing I want to point out is look at the RSI. I believe this is the lowest the RSI has ever been for Virgin. It is the lowest the RSI has ever been, about 23 in the weekly chart. It is very, very oversold, and the MACD is actually in the red as well. So that is not great news. The momentum is to the downside. You can see over here, these moving averages have just been following the stock down. The stock has been popping up to these moving averages and selling off this whole time for the last few years. The trend has been to the downside for SPCE. Let's see what are some potential buy zones where I think this stock can be heading. And draw this, rechart the chart really. So let's get started. Please do hit the like button if you appreciate the chart updates. I do really appreciate it, and do subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you still holding the stock? What's your average price? And what happened to your shares during the stock split? I'd like to know if anyone's shares got sold off or not. So once again, let's put our line at the IPO price. I believe this is the area we're heading. We're trying to get back to by the time Delta comes back. It is the area I think it is possible to get there. It's very hard to get there, but if Delta comes online, if this company looks like it can edge to at least break even of profitability, that's the area I'm targeting, the IPO price, which is right now considered $200. So that's my first line of support and resistance. It's at the IPO price. The next level is that price drop in 2019, where we dropped down to $138. Of course, this is now in the new pricing terms. So those are my two overhead resistances. We have this trend to the downside. I'm not sure if it's a viable trend line. Let's have a look if we can create a trend line with it. There is a trend to the downside. It's not perfect, but that is something to consider. So we have had a few touch points in the beginning there. We didn't break above it here either. We went and tested it in 2023, and more recently we've tested it now. So that is a very deep trend line to downside. Let's see if we can turn that into a parallel channel or not. I'm just running through this chart analysis so you guys can see exactly what I do with my charts to see if it's viable for your chart. There's no parallel chart channel there. Let's start putting some more overhead key resistance levels. I think there will be another one. Again, to the upside, we're looking there at $55, there at $23, and over here, previous low at $14. Okay, so now let's move on to the 3-day chart. We're looking at the weekly. Every candle represents a week. How many down weeks did we have in a row? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down weeks. We've actually had worse before. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And remember this horrendous downtrend, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks of downside for SPCE. So we hope to not see that again. We are back below the $10 level on SPCE. If you can look over here as well. I am in SPCE. I have turned my GME and FFIE into SPCE shares. Not a lot, but I'm just trading the stock. I'm in the stock. My average price is $9.34. My total returns are just 2%. So I'm looking for a bit more gains on SPCE, but I am currently in. If we want to look at some Fibonacci's to see where the stock can be heading, the next level is at $5, and I think that's going to be very, very key for SPCE. Will we get there? Maybe this downtrend is quite significant. A lot of people are worried that there's not much going on for the stock for the next few months and even years. So that is one thing to consider. So where do I see the stock going? Let's now move on to the 3-day, a bit of a shorter term perspective. We've got that overhead resistance at $24, not much on the 3-day, and let's move on to the daily. So I do expect this stock at these levels to maybe head back to $14 in the short term. That RSI is still oversold even after Friday's candle, so we might see a bit of a push to the upside. We will have overhead resistance, very strong resistance at levels. Let's change this to green as support. Let's change that color to green. So that's the support around $5. Remember, $5 and above, it's not considered penny stock, and institutions might look at buying it. So we want to see strong price action between $5 and $9 where we are now. We don't want to get too close to $5. I do think what we are going to see first is a move back up to $14, and that's the area I might be selling my shares that I'm holding now. So $14 is what I'm targeting, and I will have buy zones set up between $5 and $5.30. I'll keep you updated. We're looking at a chart right now where there has been a stock split. There is more analysis to be done, but for now, I am happy holding my shares. We are sort of in the middle of no man's land. I've been buying it purely based on the RSI being oversold and the market cap to be about 200 million, while them having about $85 million in cash, enough cash to get them to Delta, I believe. So right now, middle of no man's land. Only thing that's giving us a potential move to the upside is the RSI being heavily oversold. I do have my sell zone set up at around $14 and my buy zones just above $5. So that is my analysis on SPCE. If you did enjoy that, you might enjoy this video up here and down here as well. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have watched all the way, please do leave a like and do subscribe. Until next time, please do take care of yourselves and each other. 3, 3, 7. Okay, let's have a look at your comments. I'm just looking at one thing here. Okay, let's have a look at your comments. I'm hearing that we need. We've read that one. Would you be kind enough to explain what's meant by something being oversold? So, oversold is basically an average of the previous third of trading, and if it's below that, sorry, it's an average of a time frame, and if it's below that third of where it's been trading, it's considered oversold. You don't really need to worry about that. It's all taken care of by the indicator. Typically, what we see when the RSI is oversold, so the relative strength index, is that there's much more selling than is what we're used to over the average, and that typically is a signal. One signal that you take into account in trades that there, because it's being oversold, is an area where it can bounce from and get out of the oversold territory. Anything oversold is anything below 30 on the RSI, so it depends on the time frame you're looking at. For example, the daily gives you more of a short-term idea of where the stock is going, and even on the daily it's oversold, so you might expect over days and weeks that the price gets out that oversold territory. You don't normally see stocks stay in the oversold territory for long. And then if you look at the weekly, it's more of a sort of mid to long term argument that the stock is over its longer average. It is oversold. The most oversold it's ever been, SPCE at 24. It's below 30, which is below the third, which you consider being oversold. It's just another, you don't really need to worry about what averages are taken into account. It's more a trading signal to suggest that more selling than usual is taking place. And it's an indicator that the price can move higher. But you need to take into account that there has been instances in the past where stocks have been oversold or overbought for a while. Sensei, could you look at CRO? How long do you think? How low do you think it can drop? I saw my CRO a few months back and took profit, wanting to start a new position. What would you say is a good entry point, James? You're here every week. You support every week. You're here at every live stream. You're a moderator. So for you, I can have a look at that for you. Let's quickly bring that up. CRO, how low can it drop? It's below its moving averages. Remember, look, this is what it's meant by oversold. Areas where it's oversold. Last time this was oversold, the stock dropped about 39%. The next time it was overbought, the stock is now down about 49%. So it is indicators, however, with crypto, because it's so volatile, you can see it's being oversold territories for much longer. I can show you Bitcoin as well in the last bull market where it was overbought for a very long time. But your question, James, is next buy levels. If you want to scatter in your buy zones, 8 cents would be the first one. And then you're looking at maybe 6.5 cents. We can have a look at the Fibonacci retracement as well. Not much to be seen there. Yeah, you're looking at about 8 cents and 6.5 cents as buy-in zones for CRO. Again, not financial advice. Crypto stop loss raid. Yeah, those do happen, but you can also be caught out by them. That's why limit orders are good. If you're expecting a stop loss raid by what you're hearing and what you bought your own research, then you might want to put limit orders in, because when crypto stop loss raids do happen, when leverage is taken out of the system, it's very, very quick, and you can get some really nice buy-in zones. And that's what I've been saying about Bitcoin. If you want to buy the best areas for Bitcoin, and especially altcoins, is set up limit orders, because you never know when there's going to be that wick to the downside. Any comments on Platinum? William, if you want to become a member, we can have a look at Platinum for you. Thank you for your suggestion, but we have to focus on members right now. I don't even have time to answer all my members' questions. So if you do a super chat, we can have a look at that for you. If Nicola does not If Nikola does not bankrupt, can you comment on how platinum looks, hydrogen tech? I don't think Nikola will have a big impact if on platinum prices. Thank you, Sensei. Much appreciate. No worries at all. James is a teacher's pet. He loves it. He owns it, and he gets rewards for it. Did I see it? Thanks, Sensei. Go SPCE. No worries at all. What are we looking at next? We are looking at. We'll have a quick update on some of our main stocks. We'll run through them. FFIE. FFIE is at the next buy zone. If anyone's interested in the stock, really, I wouldn't recommend buying the stock, but people look at levels, and 40 cents is one of them, and that's the level we're at currently. Moving average just below at 30 cents as well, so you've got some support there. If it ever goes back to $1, I'd be selling everything I've already have. I think the hype around the stock is definitely dying now. So I don't see any value in FFIE apart from that we're at a technical level of support at around 40 cents. Let's move on to the next, which is GME. It's brother or sister, the big brother, GME. Again, moving to the downside, the next support. Remember, the resistance was hit exactly at $48. And then at $40, so two sell levels over there. Next buy zone, save yourself 50%, and you're back at $18 maybe. That's the next buy zone. It's around where the moving averages are, between $18 and $19. It was overbought, and again, this is the RSI coming into practice. It was overbought on the RSI, and now it's getting back into normal territories for GME. FSRN bankruptcy hit. The stock is FSRN Q. Yeah, this is what we see. What we saw with Virgin Orbit, a Q added to the end, bankruptcy. A completely new stock at about 1 cent now, unfortunately. So we've been saying be very, very careful. It's going bankrupt, and here it is. Got a lot of hate for saying it's going bankrupt, but there's no hope for FSR Q. There might be some volatility to the upside and downside, but there is absolutely no point trading it. It's very much terrible gambling at this point, and I'll be very, very risky trading the stock. I'll be very aware of the risk if I was even touching FSR and Q. Now 2 letters have been added onto the end, so we can ignore that and probably no longer cover FSR and Q because it looks like it's a done deal that it's gone. It's out. It's another Virgin Orbit situation with the Q. Moving on to the next, we've looked at SPCE. Let's have a quick look at Nikola. Is there any potential for Nikola? I'm not sure what this is over here. Having a quick look at Nikola, yes, broken all-time lows. What we were expecting to happen, breaking that 40 cents level. Interesting. Where was this going to go next, Nikola? Bankrupt, maybe. Unfortunately. I do always warn people with these stocks that come out very much a trading stock. Wouldn't want to keep my money invested in these stocks. Looks like 22 cents could be next for Nikola. Quick rapid fire through these stocks. Make sure we're covering them all. 22 cents can be potentially next, but also remember there is a gap to the upside back to nearly 50 cents, which 90% of the time, more than 90% of the time, these gaps that occur do get filled. So if you want to get out the stock, some sell levels about 46 cents might be wise. In case that gap does get filled, you can save yourself an extra 30%. So that might be the area to be selling some shares. Again, not financial advice. We looked at Bitcoin. Now let's quickly look at XRP. back below 50 cents. It's the area where I like to DCA, is below 50 cents. But again, I've always got a bag of cash waiting to buy it at 30 cents if we do get that flush, if that flash crash that I think Liam was talking about. I'm prepared for it. I don't put a lot of weight on it, but I do know that crypto does have flash crashes there and here and there. So limit orders are set up between 32 and 26 cents for XRP, and you can do the same with your favorite altcoins. Sensei said buy, so I'm buying. Lol, just kidding. Thank you, J-Lo. I hope you are. Careful, you'll be cleaning erasers after school, says John Granthorpe. If Nikola proves that FCEV, then more H2 industry platinum will be H2 industry slash platinum use will result, I imagine. Yes, but I don't think there's too much. It's not like lithium prices going up 200, 300, 400% for EVs. That was a massive, massive push, because EVs can be implemented in everything. Batteries were very, very much in demand, and you can see now lithium prices are all the way back down, really not as expensive anymore. Lots of people were placing orders at the same time. There isn't every single car manufacturer going after hydrogen, so it won't have. I don't know if it will have a small effect on the platinum prices, but that's not my area of expertise. It's just my thinking. We haven't done TLRY for a while, but only if there's spare time, Sensei. Thank you. Vaz, I know you always do super chat, so let's have a very, very quick look at TLRY. This is what you get for the people I know, the people that are always here, the people that I recognize. There must be a reason I recognize them, and they get their special recognition here. So again, of course, I don't mean that against any other members, but sometimes I feel like doing a stock, and Vaz is right. We haven't looked at TLRY. TLRY sells broke support. Next support is at 160. Not much more to be said. There's been many trades that we've taken on TLRY all the way up to $3, but right now what it's looking like is $1.60. It's this next level to hold. It's great information. He's damn good at what he does. Thanks, Sensei. Oh, John, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that kind comment. Is it possible Bosch is invested enough with Nikola that they will carry Nikola if necessary? I do not know the ins and outs of Nikola, unfortunately. I don't know Bosch's relationship with Nikola. I don't know how much they own / hold. So unfortunately, I'm not the best person to ask. Smash the like button, says James. Yes, please do hit this like button. James is always right. Thank you kindly, says William. William, I'm so sorry I can't answer your question. I don't want to give you wrong information. I just don't know. But what I do know is you're talking about platinum. It's used in hydrogen. Nikola is a very small company right now. It's actually on the verge of bankruptcy of the stock price. There's not that many key players in hydrogen. Oh, Baz, I'll have a deeper look for you now. Thank you for the super chat. We'll have a more in-depth look. There's not too much more to be said, but now that you've given us a super chat, we can have another look at that for you. But in regards to the hydrogen question, there is, 10 key car manufacturers that all will need to implement battery technologies, create EVs, and that can have an effect on lithium. Lithium's market cap compared to platinum was much lower. I don't know where they sit right now. And lithium hadn't been...
Vaz donated £5 through a super chat. Thank you, Sensei. Flexed biceps.
Flex biceps. Thank you, Vaz. What was I saying? Yes, so lithium hadn't been mined that much before, whereas platinum has been mined over centuries, really. And lithium wasn't needed that much. Very small mines were available for it, so there was a sudden Thank you, Jay Long. There was a sudden influx where everyone wanted batteries. Everyone needed them. A lot of orders being placed. Right now, for example, with Tesla, they started the whole lithium production. I'll explain this after this comes through because it's an interesting topic. Jay Long says, thank you for covering ASTI for us. Jay Long, I appreciate the support. Thank you for the super chat. It means a lot. Having how many people do we have watching? Even having 21 people watching, it means a lot. Taking the time out of your day to tune into the stream. I love it, and I enjoy every Sunday. And unfortunately, I will be away for a couple Sundays. I'm going away on holiday. I've got a wedding, not my wedding, someone else's wedding. I'm not getting married again. I've got a wedding coming up on a Sunday, so I won't be able to do a couple or a few shows. So I'll try and get maybe some shorts out for you guys, some videos, but I won't be here live. Won't be in the
Long
studio.
donated $1.99 through a super chat. Thank you for covering ASTI for us.
No worries, Jay Long. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, back to the lithium argument. For example, Tesla's just said that the batteries they produce themselves is more expensive currently than the batteries they were buying from, I don't know, Panasonic or other battery holders. Right now, it's cheaper to buy from a third party than it is them producing their own batteries. 2 years ago, 1 year ago, it was the complete opposite. Battery prices were through the roof. Lithium was through the roof. Everyone, and the reason was every single car manufacturer was placing massive orders for batteries, and now they're not selling the cars. There's not a demand for them. They haven't got their factories set up right. Their production lines aren't set up right. They're not placing more orders, so that's what sent lithium's price to basically the moon, up 400, 500, 600%, was because there was a supply and demand shortage. Right now, lithium prices have come down. I know some people will say, well, what's the point of their lithium? Because obviously they've invested in their own lithium mine, doing the whole refining process themselves. That is not all a waste. They're going to continue doing that. And the reason is they want to understand the whole supply chain. Once they know exactly how to do it themselves, they can create better deals with other manufacturers, other miners. They know exactly what they're dealing with. So with regards to platinum and hydrogen cells, there isn't 10, 11 car manufacturers that are going to suddenly all place orders for hydrogen technology parts. Platinum's price is not going to move because of those orders, because there isn't just that demand for a lot of hydrogen vehicles, at least right now. Let's have a read of the rest of the comments. We're going to look at TLRY again for Baz. I'm really annoyed I missed ASTI. We'll replay as soon as Sensei goes to eat his jacket potato. I've actually already eaten today. Had a turkey, which is strange. It's not Christmas. Felt like it though. There we go. Sensei has been with us for 2 weeks, and now another holiday season starts. Fast. Don't start. Anyone read the ASTI's 8K? They're supposedly sold Series Z of stock for 1,000, which gives the holders 180 million votes in the RS. Interestingly, Liam, I have not seen that. Ian Paul is the owner of the Series X stock. Platinum mining is far more sparse than lithium. I think now it is. 5-10 years ago, it wouldn't have been that much more. I think, yes, you're right, it would have been more, but not that much more. And there's still, the platinum mining doesn't need to be, there doesn't need to be lots of platinum mining, because the demand for it is very, very low. And Nikola's position in that they don't need lots and lots of platinum, especially with the stock where it is now. Okay, so board members don't get a vote on the reverse split mismanagement, don't you think? Liam, I'm not sure. I don't have enough information on that. TLRY for Vaz again. So yeah, 175. We're 171. We've broken below. Let's go to the daily candles. Again, tight stop losses, because they don't always work out. We're below moving averages. We're below support and resistance. The reason I've got 160 as my next buy is because that's where we bounced a few times, and we actually bounced from 160 all the way up to $3. So that's nearly a 2x in price. and normally we see the same occur, maybe not a 2x, but maybe a 1.5x, maybe a 50% move to the upside once we hit 160. Another area to be wary of is 165, which is where we are now. So we might get a little bounce, something like this. Let's do a trade setup. Maybe something like this, a small bounce this week. We can have a very, very tight stop loss and take it back to that resistance level from this 165 level. That might give you an area to sell a little bit and try and buy back at 160. But right now the trend seems to be to the downside with support on 160. And we probably, with the way the chart's looking, is revisiting 150. We're not oversold yet on the daily, and we're not oversold on the weekly. So room to the downside for TLRY, and the trend right now is to the downside. Good luck with your share if you're still invested in ASTI J. I wish everyone good luck on their shares. Got about 4 minutes left. Those yep, we've covered them. Thank you, Jay Long, for the ASTI, and Vaz for the flexed bicep emoji. Let's have a quick run through of the stocks. So we had Wrap Technologies up 23%. What an amazing trade. I think if you look at last week's video, we had a trade set up at exactly these levels, which you're probably up about 71% in a week. So ASTI's looking good. Unfortunately, it's coming up to resistance at 220, so it might be an area to get out of Wrap. Nikola up 8% on Friday. SVC up 7.5%. Rocket Lab held the moving averages. The next target might be $6 on Rocket Lab. Etsy Hood. Remember what we said? Great uptrend. Buying at about $10. The latest buy was $10, ran it up to $20. Remember, it came back down to this resistance. I said, don't panic. This is actually good. It's turning resistance into support. That held at $16, and now we're back on the uptrend to $22. Not an area to be buy, but maybe an area to be holding. McDonald's, nothing brilliant going on there. Google setting all-time highs. Who knows where it can go. Shopify testing resistance to the downside. Amazon holding support. Very, very key level for Amazon now. It's at approaching all-time highs. Resistance at where it is exactly now. If it breaks this resistance level, we can start seeing Amazon move 10-20%, breaking all-time highs. That would be good for the S&P. PayPal, not an area to be trading. In fact, maybe an area to be wary of the price going down. MicroStrategy, area to be holding. Netflix hitting all-time highs, very, very close to all-time highs. That is on breakout watch to the upside, breaking all-time highs. Fiverr is an area of a long-term buy zone. Fiverr, the first area of buying for the long term. Coca-Cola tested support, broke out of resistance, and now it's a hold to the upside. Microsoft has broken all-time highs in the past few weeks, and it's just no man's land. Who knows where this can go? You can try and get some exit points with Fibonacci, and you're looking at 458 for the first area to be selling your Microsoft that you might have bought last year at 218, and now it's basically doubled. So congratulations for people holding Microsoft. DXYZ, my worst trade of all time. Can't even buy it anymore on Robinhood. That might come down to all-time lows at about $8. Tesla, as I've said, just be very careful with the stock. A lot of people were still very hyped about it all the way from 2022, and I just said be very careful. Coming down to $100, actually went all the way, went exactly to $100. Popped up, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Nothing interesting at all with Tesla at this moment in time. Remember, I think maybe this is $1,000 stock by 2030. Snapchat, nothing interesting. J&J 3 times tested support. Now it's moving into an area of resistance between 152 and 155. I'll be very careful and want to see how it reacts before I commit to the trade. Disney below resistance. Pfizer battling with support right now, trying to hold those moving averages, but it's not an area to be buying. It's about an area to be watching the stock to see if it comes out on top. Remember, sometimes I think it's better to not be in a stock when it's at these resistance levels, for example, at $27, and rather buy it. Let me bring out a pencil. There we go. This area here is contested. You can see there's a lot of resistance at this level. You don't know if it's going to break it or not. I wouldn't be in it. I'll be waiting for a breakout, and then when it comes back in for the retest, that's the area I'd be buying. Yes, I'm buying $1 or $2 higher, but I'm more confident that the stock is broken out and it's going to go on an uptrend. That same logic applies to a lot of all my charts. Yes, and Rivian is at a trade level right now, looking for maybe a position on Rivian. Wow, this trade setup actually went really well. We got our first take profit, about 22% to the upside. It's coming in for a retest of the trade. Maybe it's another entry point.
Vaz donated £5 through a super chat. Could you have a look at S&P 500 and FTSE 100 just very quickly? For comparison only. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaz. Yes, we'll have a look at that. Let's quickly run through these. Anything else? Palantir was the worst one there, coming back into support. Maybe an area of buying at $22. Coinbase, area of support, maybe worth buying into at $210. Remember, we had some amazing trades with Coinbase. Entry was about $60, up about 400% on Coinbase. Okay, let's have a quick look at the S&P 500 in relation to the FTSE 100. So what we can do is overlay the charts. That's not how we want to do it. Yeah, so I mean, just looking at that, you can see the FTSE 100 really underperforming the S&P 500. Let's see if we can put it on a different plane. Oh, what is the best way to do this? Sorry, I haven't done this for a while. Let's remove it from there. Here we go, let's look at it like that. Remove these moving averages. Remove the moving averages. Let's clean this up a little bit. There we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the chart. So FTSE 100 versus the S&P 500. You can see that, I mean, depends what scale you want to look at it from, but from about 2016, the FTSE 500 is up about 20%, and the S&P 500 is up 175%. If you look at maybe from last year, you're looking at the FTSE 100 being up 14% and the S&P 500 being up 46%. You see it follows the same sort of trend, but much more subdued, much more. It's just not as profitable as the S&P 500. However, at specific points, if you look at it from maybe the crash of 2020, it's still up 45%, and the S&P 500 is up 121%. If you look at the next sort of crash on the SP on the FTSE on 26th of October 2020, it might look a little bit better. The FTSE 100 is up 40%, and the S&P 500 is up 55%. So it really depends on your buying price of the FTSE 100, but the S&P ultimately really does outperform it. You can see similar sort of trends, but while the S&P has been up about 45% since March of 2023, the FTSE 100 is only up about 10%. So over the last year, the S&P 500 has really outperformed. Really outperformed. The S&P 500 has really outperformed the FTSE. The FTSE, let's just really look at that. There still has been a move up on the FTSE, but the S&P 500 since sort of October of 2023 has been on a real brilliant trend upwards. The S&P has, and the FTSE just hasn't been in that same sort of move up. Remember, that's mainly because of the tech industry on the S&P 500, the Microsoft, Apple's, Netflix's that the FTSE just doesn't have access to. So we can look at them one by one as well. If we get rid of the FTSE 100, bring back our tools. Let's get rid of that. Why is my chart not working? So with the S&P 500, I would say you're more overbought. The RSI will tell you that as well. Overbought on the daily. This parallel channel shows a bull market. Remember, this is the parallel channel I look at to see if we're in a bull market or not. Parallel channels to the upside. Parallel channels to the upside. However, you're above the parallel channel. Remember, that means you're overbought within the bull phase. So be careful to be buying right now. And if you actually look, we are at a level where you bring out a Fibonacci tool, you're at the 1.61 level, which is an area to be taking profits. For me, 5,500, I can see us pulling back down, and there'll be much better areas to be buying. At some point, I'll see 4,800 coming back down for the S&P 500, whether that's after the elections or before. That's about a 12% move to downside. I think there's much better buy zones on the S&P 500 than there is now. Remember, you see this trend here. It's very important to see where there's good buy zones and sell zones. In this trend, for example, here was a good buy zone, about a 18% move to the upside. Then you hit the top of the parallel channel, and then you moved down about 9%, and then you went back to the top of the channel, moved back down about 8%. That's the bottom of the channel. That's the areas to be buying. The bull trend that went up about 21%. Then you've done the opposite of what's happening down, which is you've moved down, but not only have you hit the bottom of the parallel channel, you actually fell below the parallel channel, down 11%, and then you went on an area where you went a phase when you went up about 27%, and now you're above the parallel channel. So you might expect the opposite to happen, where instead of being below and then you reach the top, you might be at the top and reach the area below, about 4,800. If you compare that to the FTSE, which I don't normally look at because it's not something I see as a great investment, I would prefer, if I'm going to be investing in another ETF, it would probably be like a world ETF, the top companies of the world, which is basically the S&P 500, but it can be more diverse. Look at the S&P 500. The FTSE, is there a better one? Let's see what chart's best for the FTSE. The FTSE seems to be at all-time highs, is that right? FTSE. Remember, inflation in the UK actually hit 2%, which is, it went up higher than the US, but it's now back down to 2% quicker than the US. And something to take into account, it hit 2%. Next day was interest rate decisions, and they didn't lower their interest rate. So even when the US might follow suit, where once they hit 2%, they might still not go down on their interest rate. So it'll be interesting to have a look at the Fed Watch tool as well. watch tool to see what the markets believe the next interest rate cut is going to be. Let's have a look at that as well. Next interest rate decision is saying about quite a high probability that there isn't going to be a cut. You can see on the 31st of next month, they're expecting rates to stay still. So it's looking like the next one will be in September, so not really the summer anymore. We'll see. September depends who you talk to. Martyn will probably say that's the summer. I'll probably say that's not the summer, but we'll see. Me and Martyn have this little thing where I said it's probably not going to be the summer. Martyn said it's going to be the summer, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Is September summer, and will there be an interest rate cut? It doesn't look like it's going to be in July. 89% of the market saying no cuts, but the meeting after, it looks like there's about a 58% chance that we will be in a lower bracket than we are right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but it has been later than many people expected. So back to the FTSE. The FTSE really doesn't look that brilliant. It's just not that high. It's not that high above the 2020 crash where the S&P 500 is. So the S&P 500 is definitely outperforming the S&P 500. Quickly look at the comments and end the show. Great question, Jane. Sensei, do you think Nvidia will keep going up, or do you think it will pull back next week? Let's have a quick look. I think a pullback is due on Nvidia, but you never know how high these things go. Maybe a pullback back down to $100 for Nvidia. It's very hard to time things when they're going up so fast. You just can't time the top. It's the same as trying to time a bottom of a falling knife. You just can't. You just average yourself out of the stock. Is our render token of Nvidia of crypto? No, it's not a specific token of Nvidia. Yeah, it has potential without doubt. I'm only holding 2,500 shares. 2,500 shares of Nvidia. That's a lot. In hospital operation, possibly tomorrow. Cancer on the backbone, blood clots on my lungs. That needs to be cleared before they can operate, or I can die from. Okay, we'll definitely be praying for you, Bill. Terrible to hear that. I really hope everything goes well with you, Bill. We'll definitely keep you in the prayers. Prayers, Bill. Good luck, brother. Good luck, Bill. Whatever fits your budget. I have gone up 10k. We'll probably buy more if it goes below my average. Bill, thinking after you and wishing you all the best. Yes, we are, Bill. Prayers, Bill, and Godspeed recovery. Good luck on your surgery. Good luck, Bill. Praying for you, Bill. Make a speedy recovery. Yes, please do, Bill. Would want to see you back in the YouTube saying everything went well. We will be praying for you. Run towards the fight, brother. One bet to another. So it hasn't metasized. Sounds like it was caught early. The 2% rates were a result of cost of living, food, drink, fuel, energy costs. They did not include housing costs. So they'll rise after the election. Team Fusion, you've just listed that it's a result of living, food, drink, fuel, energy. What does it not include? Autumn begins on the 21st of September, by the way. Oh, interesting. Sorry, we'll have to play that again. 21st, so autumn begins on the 21st of September. And the next rate decision is July then. Interesting, yeah. So that will be, let's see if there will be a rate cut. Thanks, Sensei. Great. Watching Armstrong spaceship Unity return from space on its first commercial flight was breathtaking and proud moment, and we celebrate the ship's unprecedented achievements in the human spaceflight and build momentum for the rollout of our first Delta class ships in 2026 at Michael Glazio, CEO of Virgin Galactic. Thank you, Zach Zate. Martyn says, lol, see the summer. Yes, can be summer, 50-50 or 58% 35. It can be. It can be. We will see. It will be an interesting one. Thank you for the live show and excellent information, Sensei. It's much appreciated. Thank you, James, for always being here. Sensei, core CPI is actually 3.9%. Core. Interesting. Thank you, Team Fusion. Thanks, Martyn. So does the US apply, report on... Oh, I'd like to see the difference, actually. Thank you, Team Fusion. Prayers to Bill, Sensei numero uno, always. Prayers to Bill. Yes, lol, see the summer. Go SPCE. Made the prediction summer 2024 18 months ago. Yes, Martyn, but if you're 1 month out, that prediction is no longer valid. I'm joking. It's an absolutely amazing. I think it was very, very useful, the prediction you made, and it's whether it's a month after, a month before, it's probably going to be in the summer. It is an absolutely amazing prediction, so thank you for that, Martyn. It's helped a lot of traders, to be honest. Thanks, Sensei. Thanks, Martyn. Get well, Bill. Bye, everyone. Bye, Stephen. Can anyone see the link? Unfortunately, Vaz, you're not a moderator, so we can't see the link. Tobacco, energy, alcohol are volatile and these affect the CPI rate. If you remove these from the CPI, the rate is 3.9%. Alcohol, tobacco and energy. Interesting. Thank you, Team Fusion. Vaz would love the link. Vaz, you can always slap it in Discord and everyone can have a look there. But it is time to finish the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, please take care of your money, your crypto, and most importantly, take care of each other. Bye bye.